From Keith Ellison.
Hello everyone, this is BEBE Davis, publisher and founder of 1021 Magazine. We did a prelude on yesterday and amid the George Floyd murder in Minnesota. We all are waiting for the confirmation news that would take the murderer who wore a law enforcement uniform to be charged from the disgraceful third-degree murder charge. Sources are now saying it will bump up to second degree, which in many opinions this is where it should have been from the beginning. Welcome to 1021 Magazine's live stream here on YouTube. We hope everyone has been well. We send good vibes to everyone who is tuned in to this channel and staying close to the COVID news, as well as staying close to the news of the George Floyd murder investigation. We have seen all over the world where people have reacted to those 9 minutes of what we perceive as intent to not detain someone who is already detained, but to, in guise, contain someone already contained, thus resulting in death. This morning there was a press conference with the family lawyer, the family attorney, and with George Floyd's son. And we want less noise here as much as we can with the live stream. And we do have others who are getting their sources in and feeding it to me as we go, but we try to be as quiet as we can on the set. I do have CNN in the background here because I'm on the go and on the move. We do have contributors who are on the grounds in different cities, and so I have to stay abreast with them even when I'm out and about doing essentials. So they are checking in. Have them checking in on the phone here, and also they have access to other ways to check in when I am out and about. But we have a long way to go before we quell some of the heightened anger and disgust. Okay, I'm getting alerts here. And the protesters, we have high alert that even with this information, this may not quell the current state of affairs for the anger and the disgust for justice, for the injustice that has happened. So, I am, as I said before, on the prelude. If you missed the live stream last night that we did not keep available, you understand the anger of the protesters, and that is factual. But you have to come with a common sense ground not to tear up your city, to vandalize, and start coming into the fold for the rest of what I say, cool heads who know to get justice done, to change things. You have to change the laws, and you have to put things in place, sweep in the new, sweep out some of the old that's not working for a human race. We're dealing in the age of information where you have this younger, new generation who is even unlike my generation. I'm Generation X, who is unlike the baby boomers, which is my parents' generation, and some of your parents' generation. Some of you might be of Generation X or other generations. But this generation of millennials, in the age of information and digital, the cameras are on like never before. And for the world of a magnitude, and this is not taken away from anyone else's death who have been at the hands of injustice. not at all. But what this particular murder and death of Sir George Floyd represent, we saw it on camera. And 9 minutes might not seem like a long time to some people, but it's a very, very long time. And then you see the ego, the cowardness, the shameless act, disturbing with someone who has on a uniform to protect and serve. They are taking the life of someone who is pleading, they cannot breathe, I want my mother. And you have others around, help me. And you have other officers who are just as guilty to do nothing. So these are the people who are in officer uniforms, who are among law enforcement and did nothing. So the climate of the anger is the act. The climate is then not to have that arrest come quick. So when the cool heads, and we want those who are in anger, in protest, stop the rioting, stop the looting, and come on into the fold where change can be made. Because they've heard you. And they know that through those acts that I don't agree with, but I understand, like any other journalist out here who is of integrity has said, we understand, but you must come on into the fold and get these laws changed. You sit at a press conference and say, this is the quickest that we've arrested a police officer. That has to change. That's when you come on into the fold with the cool heads who are just as passionate, who are just as irate about what has happened. And you start getting the laws to change. And that's what makes sense. That's what's going to have to happen. The change. If this happens, no matter if he has the position or she has the position of law enforcement, if this happens, said, arrest immediately. Get this into play. Boom. Okay? Boom. Next on the docket, because there's going to be a lot of things on the docket. So the death of Sir George Floyd will not be in vain. Quick to say, with everything in front of you, the cameras rolling, the film rolling, third-degree murder. Now, myself, as a law major, political science, journalist, done my time with the government, clear as day, when you look at the verbiage of first-degree murder, second-degree murder, third-degree murder, it does not fit what we see. This is not presumption. It is not guilty yet. That has to be tried in court. But if you look at first-degree, second-degree, third-degree murder and the verbiage as it stands, third didn't fit from the beginning, from the genesis, second degree fits. So this is the breaking news that has come, not yet confirmed. But sourced. So let's listen in to CNN here.
Continue to police our own matters.
What does that say that you feel this has to, that you can't trust the police unless you're talking about someone being physically.
Okay, the confirmation still has not come, so I'm between different news sources, and again, I am looking at the sources that is on my devices that are coming to me from the contributors. But what has happened, what is expected in that press conference, is to go from 3rd degree to 2nd degree. So protesters, your voice is being heard. On social media, your voice is being heard. And it is being felt. But now, this looting, this vandalism, this whole scope of way out of order must now come to order and come into the folds. Come into the folds and be a part of getting the systematic steps that will allow a racist to walk or get less time and less charges. That's when you must come into the folds and things must change. I talk with my hands. Expressions. On the live stream on yesterday, I talked about my POV. When I see racist acts, and when I've heard of them, when I've read of them through the history, the police brutality does not begin even 10 years. This has been going on for centuries. Even beyond the 60s. But some people, if it doesn't hit you where you live, that could be your heart, or that could be someone you know, then a lot of people have the aloof attitude. Or I'm just sick and tired, and I'm sick and tired. I'm tired, and I'm sickening tired of hearing about this all the time. So hands off. You have the right to say hands off. This doesn't affect you. Hands off. Just hands off. Tired of it. It's still going to affect you because of your hue, your beautiful hue, your beautiful hue, your beautiful hue, beautiful you. Clenched teeth is under here, but I try to rise to my occasions. That I have to be one of those people to hold the cool head and still be a part of the movement, because I've always been a part of it. Hold on, my phone. Hold up. I gotta keep checking because we got the babies out there that are wanting to do their part in reporting. So I gotta take care of the babies. Because of your hue, you have racist people who are threatened by that. And they've always been. And it will always be. To say it's a good thought, we rid ourselves of racism. That's just like saying we rid ourselves of bad people or moody people. But you can put into play racists who want to not just keep it in their being, in their head, in their thought about another, when they take it from their thoughts and put it upon someone else to put them in danger, murder, that's a problem. And for too long it's been happening. But this new generation of millennials was like, not today. But the looting must stop. The vandalism must stop, because that serves no purpose, and that does not honor the life not only of Sir George Floyd, but of anyone else that we can speak their names and we know their cases of the injustice, and for those we may never know, because we can't forget about them. Now, in the press conference with the family lawyer for Sir George Floyd, the lawyer, was speaking the names of the most recent, the most current, and then he went back, and when he spoke Emmett Till, you had the crowd surge, and they was like, yes! Because he didn't get no justice. But even the unnamed and the unknown, but because of our hue, you're hated. You could be arrived. And that's what I do love, though, about the arrives. Because I'm going to put myself in the arrive, too. Because I'm living my dream. I worked hard to get where I am, to live my dream. And then I had a village of people who helped me get there. So I'm a part of the arrived. But I never forgot that my beautiful hue would always be an issue for someone. Even when I dated outside of my race, me as a multicultural woman, in my recent grandparents and parents coming together, and way later with those other ancestors, but I can drop it off with the great-grandparents that I knew, thank God. And the grandparents I knew, thank God. And my parents who are still with me, and many others. Native American, Blackfoot, Cherokee, Choctaw. Got some Creek in there. Cuban. Nationality, ethnicities, you know. Creole. But no matter what, I am a woman of color. Black girl magic. Threatened by the hue. And your hue, no matter who you date either. You can date whatever race you want to date. There will still be people out there who will hate you because of your hue, and you have not arrived. Your children have not arrived to not be in a situation where it will affect you directly or indirectly. And for the world to face this injustice indirectly and to discuss them, and the cameras are on to see that for 9 minutes, snuffed out. It puts us as a United States in a weakening state for the enemy. Already got enemies, okay? Terrorists. Oh, they live for this. They live for this. Ignorance has even compromised the United States now. For those terrorists, they love this. When they feel we're our weakest, then they're going to be ready to strike. So that's another set of even heightened problems. That's always on the radar. But it's even more heightened when this happens. So you got to put in play the laws and change things. Come into the fold and make changes. I don't care if somebody doesn't like me because of my beautiful hue, or doesn't like the brothers for the beautiful hue, or the children, or anything. That's why you're in America. But when you start taking your thought and then you're going to start trying to go after people and cut lives short and all that, it is time for reform and change. That's what it is. Also, before I leave, I'm just going to rock out of here because we got to still be on the move. Everything, you look your way and I look my way. Not this backup camera, but I'm old school. I'm old school, okay? Cameras, left, right, but I still old school. Time for old school, okay? My many who it didn't affect, and there's still some who feel like they arrived at it ain't affecting them, but yes it does. Because those racists are so afraid of the hue. Your beautiful hue. The beautiful hues. Whenever I see any racist thoughts and stuff like that, the biggest thing that I think of is cowardness. There's a broken, just like I said before in the live stream on yesterday, there's cowardness, there's brokenness. There is low self-esteem there. Something is off there. That in a world where you can be anything, the opportunities of freedom, and you don't have that oppression, and you want to go oppress someone, there is something going on with you. There's something going on with you. With you as a racist. And so, to bring harm to someone and death, all because of the color of their skin, that has to have consequences, and it definitely has to have consequences when you sit up there and you put on a badge, you're talking about you protecting and serving, and you're killing. So, we're waiting for that confirmation for that murderer who put on a law enforcement uniform, not calling him a police officer. The details. 32nd. But that has to get cleaned up too, because the force is on because of those who said, we're not taking this. We're not going to take this. And then you have the whole world just watching. And that is a part of the change. Let there have just been peacefulness. Let's call it what it is. They would have easily tried to just keep this at third. But not just that. This is on the beginning stages, but each step that's taken toward justice is a step well taken. And those are the facts. From third to second, get it done. That's right. Absolutely. Where do you go here or I go up? I go up a little bit? Okay. So that charge is there. That's still not going to quell the storm, though. The next is going to be the other officers who stood there. And these film that we're seeing what happened inside that vehicle. Then you got the, can you handle that? I need to do something. Okay. I hold it, it's hold hell down. They can't see nothing. We got different documents here, people, that we got to do. Okay. So I need to put this to my whole hand needs to go to this, right? Okay. All right. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to turn this to some music here while I get this done. Is that all right for you all? We're live remoting, so we're going to turn on some watercolors here. Got Will Downing. Is he able to get out of there? Let's make sure. The tight parking spaces. But we welcome you to the live stream. We're sitting here waiting on the confirmation. A lot of us have already got the source out there that announcement would be I need it. Okay, NC or SC. I can't stop this. We're live stream. Just don't voice it. Just no, don't talk that. We got a new person here. Okay, that's all I needed to know. Come on now, let's keep it cool here, because we got, you got different people who view things different, crazies. We're not trying to, talking code, baby. We gotta let you talking code. Gotta get you talking code, honey. I think I'm gonna go a different way. Keep people out of my business. You understand? Okay. Thank you very much. So I'm gonna go a different way, because they're not gonna be mailing me anything, right? Okay, good. But that's it. No more of that. All right, everyone. Nope. I'm registered NC. So this is what happens a lot of time behind the scenes, so we just want to let you all know that. But this is also a teachable moment too. Don't talk in code. You know, my pig Latin. I don't know pig Latin. A lot of people know pig Latin, so I couldn't do that. But that is what we're waiting on, good people. We're waiting on the confirmation. Okay, so you all just hold on here. Trying to get this stuff together. It should have been done earlier. I'm a early type of woman. Especially when it needs my John Hancock. Honey, when you're the big lady, you gotta sign your life away. Is that good now? Okay, because that's all that's needed. All right. You do your thing and let me continue back to this. All right, everyone. So from here, this still will not fully, what I like to call, quell the storms. What would even quell the storms even more is going to be such a long road that we have to go. So we're all going to be in it for the long haul, one time for the long haul. And that is where you put it back up here. Have to go to trial, but don't be despondent by what has happened, even though that's a lot of times hard to do. But you have to stay optimistic. I'm one of those people that I believe in whatever is at the half, it is half full. I don't believe in I don't have the ideology of half empty. Okay? Until it can get back up to where it needs to be. So from there, so looking at my phone here, seeing any more announcements. I'm gonna be silent, okay? I'm not there, I'm there. Just keep it intelligent. Okay, so to go from third to second, when it should have been second all along, that is also a part of the reactions of what people are feeling and all of that. So again, bravo to those. These millennials, you're seeing a vast difference, almost like what you would see from the 60s. Multi-racial, multicultural, ethnicity, nationality of people who are out there on those front lines. Now, everyone who's out there on those front lines may not be for the greater good, and we understand that. That has already been established. That protocol has been established. But you have to use your head. It is great to see those in digital media doing what they need to do to expound upon the farces from the forces. And those forces are more foes than they are friends for the right of moving up through progress. Okay? And it is good to see taking the knee from some officers, but still, we don't know what's in the heart and mind of anybody of why they're doing anything. We can only know that for ourselves. And we have people talking, even the round table of contributors for 1021 magazine. We talk. The killer, the murderer who took the life of Sir George Floyd was in a knelt position, the knee. And I hope myself, as well astute in law and a law major, that whoever is of that prosecution takes that into effect. Could this have been intent? How deeper you all are going to look at that. Because with the kneeling and his knee taking the life of Sir George Floyd. And all of this climate and discussions and oppositions that many have had because of the knee taken with Colin Kaepernick, NFL, these owners telling their players, you take that knee, consequences. That was a big thing. And it is so powerful because what it stood for was blown out of context by those who don't view the hue good. It was never meant that you didn't love your country. I love my country. But I understood why the knee was taken. Had nothing to do with that flag. Just the injustices of lives being snuffed out. That's not hard to compute, but with a racist it is. So then he puts the knee in on this man. Prosecutors, do your job. Bring it home. That's how I would try it, too. Even though that's a little bit, yes, speculation, that's perception. But you paint the picture. And that's what you call a good whole thing on that prosecution. And even in the defense. You paint the picture for the jurors. And see, those are another set of things that we're not going to get into now. But yes, with Sir George Floyd's son, who came there and stood where his father's life was taken from him, with the family attorney. It was very powerful. That was very emotional. And even through all of that, we're still seeing a multitude of other racist persons and misplaced, out of pocket of how you are supposed to know the law, enact the law, do the law, and it's not being done. Those babies in Atlanta, Morehouse and Spelman, that video was hard to watch. Hard to watch. And yet they live. And yet those in office who have the power come on into the fold. Protesters, with the rioting, the vandalism, it's not in the spirit of getting justice. Pain is felt, it's understood, but now it's time to come into the fold. Those in Atlanta who did their jobs and immediately rapid fire got those imbeciles gone. It's all a part of the process. It's all a part of the process. All right, so we're here live on live stream. We're gonna go back to CNN. Let's see what's up.
And George Floyd's brother, Terrence Floyd, speaking right now.
He wanted to call for peace. He wanted to call for justice. He wanted to make sure that you can't get one without the other. We're hearing that justice is being made and we're moving in the direction of justice, and that's a good thing. But we must continue to keep the conversation going right here in New York City. And that's what we're doing, is the beginning of conversations. And making sure that the conversations comes with peace,
action,
justice,
yes,
policy, and legislation.
That's it. Legislation, policy, come into the fold.
NYPD for having this conversation and open dialogue. The memorial for George Floyd will be tomorrow in Chatham Plaza. Terrence Floyd with the strength will be present, and other family members will be present. And we're calling for those individuals that want to loot and those who don't want to
cut it out,
disrespect the name of George Floyd.
Cut it out.
Don't do it in the name of George Floyd.
That's right. Absolutely.
You're disrespecting his legacy.
That's it.
If you want to chant peacefully, you can do so.
Right.
But don't do it in the name of George Floyd.
That's it.
We have an issue in New York City, which is a good thing in terms of having a relationship and bridging the gap in this hostile environment. And I'm thankful for now we can have a voice and turn something negative into a conversation that can lead to positive.
Exactly.
The Bible says in the book of Isaiah 1:17 is to be able to teach their oppressors, to be able to be a voice for the voiceless, and to be able to seek justice for the widows. And that's what we're going to continue to do as we go forward in the fight for justice, and to be able to uphold the legacy of George Floyd. At this time, you will hear from the Commissioner of the New York City Police Department, Dermot Shea.
Okay, the family has spoken. They've been vocal, and they've been intelligent, and they have been sound in saying, you're not doing this, looting, the protesting that is not of peacefulness and of progress for our dear Sir George Floyd. And respect that. They went to the table, the talks, action, and as I said before on yesterday's live stream, policy, legislation, laws have to be enacted and changed. Take some away, bring some in, and that is when you come into the fold for having a cool head, the savviness, and hold people accountable and get things done. These millennials, as well as all of us in the wherever you fall in the generation, I'm Generation X. I come from a family of service. That's all we've known all our lives in my family on the maternal and paternal side. But on the maternal side, we were a family of in the trenches of service. And that's all I've known. I've known my history and still fighting the good fight. And I have yet again, before I conclude this part of the live stream, I've yet to release the interview with the fifth little girl of the four little girls of the Alabama church bombings, Sarah Collins Rudolph. I've yet to release that powerful interview. And our great conversations offline with her and her husband, George. When she took me through that Sunday, when 5 little girls went into the bathroom after Sunday school, and 4 died, and 1 survived. She said something very poignant, and you will hear it on when the interview is released. Our shoulders are tired and weary, and we fought the good fight. We fought the good fight. We did the sit-ins. We sustained the segregation, the Jim Crow. Off our shoulders and passing the torch pick up the torch. Those who were in the fight then and they're still living, they're going to be there. They're going to be there. They are the Rock of Gibraltars. They've proven themselves. But we have to learn to take those steps. And the millennials, Generation X, others, you're doing a mighty fine, good job overall. Overall, amid the foolishness and the other stuff, you're doing a good job. You keep it up. I will say this, because we will be covering this moment, and it's a series. Any apps on your phone that you can do away with, you need at least 2, in my very strong opinion, 2 live stream apps. So if you don't have enough, this makes way for, you don't have enough space, you don't have enough data, you don't have enough memory. That live stream, and it will save your life, it can save another person's life, all of that. You are the citizen journalist out there, and you're needed. You see something wrong, you have at least 2 on deck, 1, 2 on deck to film, live stream to wherever it's going to go. Definitely will save your life in case something goes down, because you don't know. Because people are in their feelings about your hue. And don't you forget that. Don't you ever forget it. And when you feel like justice is too much, find your center. And then you rise to that occasion. Because we all could go through those things like, I'm just so tired, I'm so weary, I'm so worn, I'm so over it. But you got to keep going. And that's a part of the beautiful human race. You got to keep going. So let's see.
And so this is a tipping point. This is a tipping point. This moment is a tipping point to change America and see if America truly believes in the words of Thomas Jefferson, that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equally, that they're endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that amongst them are life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Where America, that means black people too.
All of this happening as we enter into day 9 of these planned protests. Charges for the other officers was really among the top demands from these peaceful protesters across the country. So there's that. I've got 2 reporters standing by. First, CNN correspondent Omar Jimenez is live for us in Minneapolis, and Josh Campbell is in St. Paul, where that announcement should come in a minute now. So Josh, let me just be...
Okay, those announcements have not been confirmed, but I have gotten some alerts on my phone while we're sitting here. And again, you're at the live stream of 1021 Magazine. We're about to sign off here, but you can check with your preferred news source for these very strong sources that's coming down, that the murderer in a law enforcement uniform who stood on the neck of Sir George Floyd will be charged from 3rd degree back up to 2nd degree. And the next pursuit for the injustice moment would be for those officers also to be charged. At what extent will their degrees will be, at this point we don't know. Also, what we like to say in the South, the home-going services, the funeral services for Sir George, and all of that, come into the fold, be a part of the change and these steps. You have the right to still be angry at what you see and even the things that you have experienced, because again, there's so many nameless and countless ones who have lost their lives, and they may not have this type of media attention, but they are out there. But like I said before, with Sarah Collins Rudolph, you must now stand on your own, and we'll be there. But you have to learn to stand on your own, because we will not always be here. You know, the transition. So, keep up the good fight. And more to come on this. Also, we are going to address COVID real quick here. And I got to get out of here because we still got some more things to do. For COVID is still here. The coronavirus is still here. Put your mask into play. Oh gosh, baby, that's what that was. That wasn't a neck brace. Keep your mask in place. Have your glove gear going. I even take it a step further. I enjoy my eyes feeling the vitamin sun. But it's a good idea to have on your eyewear in these uncertain streets and times. Protect all of that as much as you can. The openings. And if you want to get tested, get tested. If you don't want to get tested, don't get tested. Keep your immune system up. We are in stressful times, but you got to keep your immune system up. Show love to people. Do your social distancing. And we will talk more on that with the COVID, but we definitely wanted to get that in. Those numbers, we've taken a look at the numbers, by the numbers. Those numbers have not changed, as in 0 deaths. There is no 0 deaths, darlings. None. And for those who feel, oh, I'm on faith, have the faith. Have the faith. But don't be foolish out here. Because numbers are still rising. People are still dying. I don't know about your doctors. I'm not telling you my doctor's name. But let me tell you about my doctors. Okay? All of them said people are going to die at high numbers. They've already told you how it's going to come back. Stay steady. Stay ready. Stay conscious. Stay woke. Whatever it is. Have respect for others. And have respect for yourself. Love yourself. Who are you not to love yourself? That's not selfishness. That's self-love. Because if you are not putting your self-love at play, and you cannot keep yourself up, how are you going to be good to anybody else? That's all I got. I'm BEBE Davis, publisher and founder of 1020 Magazine. I'm about to mask up. Make sure you check your local news sources. We will be back on. We're live remoting, and we will be back on. By the time I come back on, they should have all of these sources, information, be in confirmation. Be well, everyone. Watch your surroundings. Be your citizen journalist. Keep those cameras rolling. Download those live stream apps that will save your life and possibly of others. Watch your surroundings and just be at peace. Peace and love, everyone. I'm BEBE Davis of 1020 Magazine. You're at the official YouTube channel. Stay lifted. Stay lifted. Looking in to the live